I was hiking alone up a hill on the side of a highway with sleet blowing in my face. I had recently upgraded from having shin splints to a golf ball sized lump growing out of my shin. For a short time, they distracted me from the blisters, but the stinging pain was intense. This is it, I thought. This is as bad as this experience could get. Suddenly, the top button on my shorts exploded into the ditch on my left, choosing a life of rest and relaxation over the misery of my situation. I guess I was wrong. Could get worse. I kept going, head down to keep the stinging sleet from my eyes, all the while saying to myself, I'm not here for me. I'm here for Dana. I'm suffering now, but not like she is, not like she will be. It has been 5 years since her diagnosis of kidney disease. In that time, we have met so many doctors. All had painted a stark picture of the landscape of our lives ahead. I looked up, and the top of the hill didn't look any closer. I don't want to be here. On this hill, on this march, on this roller coaster of disease and illness. What good is this doing? How is this actually helping anybody? Dana had done the kidney march the year before, and when she had returned home from it, she was revitalized in a way that I hadn't seen since her diagnosis. That energy helped her convince me that this was something that I should try. At the time, I had thought I could do it once, for her. But with my pants falling down, my shins throbbing, blisters bleeding in the middle of a freezing storm, I felt like I had made the wrong choice. I looked up again and squinted into the sleet. Ahead, I could see the great blue beacons of hope marking a rest area. As I stumbled into the medical tent, I could see them sizing up how much of a mess I was. While they got to work taping my shin splints, cleaning my blisters, and sorting out my clothing malfunction, I called Dana. I told her I was fine, that I could do this, but she could tell that I was struggling. It wasn't long before I was back on the road, legs taped like a mummy, and sporting a fancy new belt made of medical tape. For a while, I marched alone, only looking forward to the end of this experience. As the sleep finally stopped, I looked over and watched someone get dropped off ahead on the road. He walked right up to me and introduced himself. Hi, I'm William. Dana and my wife Michelle are working together on the crew. They said you might need someone to walk with. The last thing I wanted to do was chat, but it was a good distraction from the pain, and as we talked, I realized how he had been exactly where I was. Not just in Kidney March, but in life. His wife had the same illness as Dana, FSGS, a version of kidney disease so rare you had a better chance of being struck by lightning than getting it. What were the odds of that? As he shared a bit about his experience, I unconsciously began sharing a bit of my own. It was the first time I was able to share my experience with someone who knew what I was talking about. For the next 2 hours, I told William everything and more about sitting next to Dana's hospital bed waiting 24 hours for a life-saving C-section, the event that started it all for us, about my fears for the future, about how hard it was for others to understand. As I talked, the pain and discomfort started to change. For the first time since signing up, I understood why this was so important to Dana. Kidney March wasn't about the money, not for the marchers, not for the crew. It was about the support, about being in a group of people that have shared experiences, shared trauma, and helping each other by being present, by walking next to each other through the challenges that come with kidney disease. When I was done sharing, the sun hadn't come out. Nobody had been cured. We were still on a hard road of illness, organ transplants, mental health crisis, and more. But for the first time, as a caregiver, I didn't feel so alone. And at least the sleet had stopped. A few hours later, we crossed the finish line. We have crossed the finish line several more times since then. And I know we will cross that finish line many more times in the years to come. Dana has survived 163 days of dialysis. She's recovered from a kidney transplant, and she's doing everything to capture as much of this life as she can. We both are, together with our daughter, dogs, horses, and our ever-important Kidney March family.